Relapse doesn't just happen the moment you pick up. It usually happens way earlier, in your thoughts, in your behaviors, in the little choices we make every single day. If you've ever thought, I was fine, and then wasn't, this video's for you. Today I'm sharing how not to relapse with practical steps from the NA basic text and from my own hard-won experience. And listen, if you're willing to stick with me through this video, I'll share how I personally will help you recover and how I'm going to be there to guide you through your recovery journey. In NA, the disease of addiction is described as cunning, baffling and powerful. That means that relapse doesn't happen from using, it happens from thinking. For example, I used to catch myself thinking it wasn't that bad, or my life's gone a little bit AWOL, now it's time to treat myself, or even nobody will know. Them thoughts don't seem that bad, but when you leave them unattended, they just grow. The basic text suggests that denial is one of the biggest roadblocks in our recovery, and that's why the first way to avoid relapse is awareness. Ask yourself, even daily if you have to, am I being honest with what's going on inside? Like truly, brutally honest? Am I slipping into old patterns? Am I pretending everything's fine when it isn't? Because relapse in the mind will always show before the action. One of the most, if not the most important message of the NA literature is that you can't do it on your own and you need support to get to where you want to be. It actually says the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. When I look back at my previous slips and my previous relapses, there's one thing in common. I stopped talking to people. I just wanted to be alone. And like I said before, addiction will do anything it can to get you by yourself, because that's when the voice of addiction is most loud. So connection is your protection. That can look like calling a friend, calling somebody else, or dropping them a message that's in recovery themselves, or simply telling someone, hey, I'm not feeling 100% today. The way I see it is the disease strives in the darkness, which is full of lies, and recovery lives in the light and in honesty. So every time I open my mouth and speak truly and honestly about what's going on up here, that relapse potential loses power. Just let that sink in a minute. Recovery is described as a daily program, so what you did yesterday isn't going to keep you clean today necessarily. Basic text talks about different principles such as being honest, open-minded, being patient, willing, using humility, and they're not just words or concepts. They're daily practices. Like one thing that massively helped me was writing a gratitude list every single day. In the morning, just write like 10 things you're grateful for. And if you can't do that, maybe just 5. Having that attitude of gratitude, as my therapist once said, sets your mind right for the day. It could be watching a few recovery videos online, or it could be saying a prayer, or taking a few moments silence to meditate on what you're actually thinking. Or something that I do very often is just checking in with someone, having someone there for you that you can just share what's going on honestly. It's helped me massively anyway. And if I skip any of these practices, then it might not hit me on day 1 or day 2 or day 3, but I can almost guarantee by the end of the week I feel irritable, restless and discontented. And guess what? That's when the obsession and the addiction creeps back into your ear. So ask yourself, what am I doing to strengthen my recovery today? Not what you did yesterday, not what you're planning on doing tomorrow. What can you do today? So as much as addiction is cunning and baffling and will do anything to try and sneak up on you, it's not as sneaky as it thinks it is. There are warning signs. For me, these red flags are missing meetings, not talking to people in addiction, not being honest, isolating myself away from people, fantasizing about using, where I'm going to go, who I'm going to get it off. A big one is letting resentments build. If someone's done something in your life to piss you off, which if you're normal, that will probably happen. Don't let them build up. Don't let these resentments become something massive that controls your day or even your week. And neglecting self-care. Now this is something that unfortunately was my bread and butter and still can be when I'm feeling low. Knowing that I've got to go brush my teeth. Knowing that I've got to hop in the bath. I hate it sometimes, but there could be signs that a relapse is around the corner. So pay attention every time that you choose action over inaction, i.e. doing this gratitude list, reaching out to someone. Your recovery becomes stronger, but unfortunately this is something that you can't just do once and give up. You're going to have to continue to do this. But I know for me anyway, I'd much rather live that life than the life of lying, manipulating those I love, spending up to £1,000 a month on something that gives me nothing in return. Sounds so stupid when I think back on it. There's a myth that some people do believe is that Relapse is part of everyone's story, but that simply doesn't have to be the case. The NA Basic text says that recovery is possible and relapse doesn't have to be a part of that journey. It's not a requirement. Many addicts stay clean for years and years, one day at a time, because they simply practice these principles in all of their affairs. So don't let anyone tell you, or even your own mind tell you, that it's only a matter of time before I pick up again, because that's exactly what the disease wants to hear. Tell it to do on. Relapse is possible, yes, but so is long-term recovery, and I know which one I'd rather have. The more tools and support that you do have, the stronger your foundation is to fight against relapse. I'll be honest, there's been times where I've thought, what is the point in all of this? One time I've sat in obsession for weeks and weeks and just kept it to myself, thinking about when I'm going to use, where I'm going to go, how I'm going to get the money to buy it, and most of all, how am I going to keep it a secret? And do you know how I actually combated that? Was talking to a mate. Talking to a mate in recovery who understands what's going on, and sometimes getting that insight from someone that's not yourself can honestly just set your mind right. And that's why I believe in this stuff 100%. Not because it's written down or it's a concept, because I've lived it and it works. And I know if it works for me, it can work for you as well. So let's recap. Relapse starts in the mind, but you must catch it early. Connection is your ultimate protection. Daily spiritual maintenance keeps you strong. Watch the red flags and act quickly. And remember, relapse is not inevitable. If you want something deeper, and I'm not just talking videos, I'm talking personal accountability and tailored coaching, it's now something that I offer with one-to-one calls, daily check-ins. If you're interested, the link's in my bio. If any of this video has resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button, because it really helps push this video out to more people that need to hear it. Subscribe if you're new and hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload. You don't have to do this alone. Stay strong, protect your recovery, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!